Alright, Grid 7, got another one of these personal peeves of mine. Diversity. Oh yeah. There's a word that just, I roll my eyes whenever I hear the left talk about it. But for this one, Academy explains diversity rules for Best Picture Oscar. Beginning in 2022, films for the top of road will have to turn in a confidential inclusion standard form. And in 2024, they will have to meet 2 of 4 standards. In June, the Academy of Motion Picture of Arts and Sciences, which oversees the Oscars, said it would add a diversity component to the Oscar race. Yeah, people who already don't like it, you're not bringing them back. You're virtue signaling to a bunch of people who don't watch it already and aren't going to watch it, and the people who do watch it, you're alienating. That's all you're doing. The 96 Oscars, films hoping to qualify for the Best Picture will have to meet inclusion standards both on camera and behind the scenes. To meet the on-screen representation standard, at least one of the lead actors or a significant supporting actor must be from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group. That means Asian, no. Basically anything but white. I mean, that's what they could have just said right there, because that's what they mean. No. Can't have white, no, they're overrepresented. No, and they're all alternatives. 30% of all actors in secondary or more minor roles could come from 2 of the following categories: women, LGBT, and underrepresented racial or ethnic group, or those with cognitive and physical disabilities. Okay, has to be 2 of those groups. So in other words, straight white men, no, that are healthy. Or the main storyline must focus on an underrepresented group. The move is part of continuing effort to improve inclusion on both which the organization and movies it honors. Over the years, the Academy are fire for presenting all-white acting slates at nomination time, a fault many attribute to both the homogeneous makeup of the organization and the industry at large. You mean to tell me that an industry like Hollywood, who does all this stuff about race, LGBT groups, all this type of stuff, are still a homogeneous group of white guys? Well, and you're listening to them? Okay. The aperture must widen to reflect the diverse population in both the creation of motion pictures and the audiences who connect with them. Well, movies are already having a hard time. I don't see this helping anything. Now begin 2022, and again in 2023 for the 95th. Each Best Picture candidate must first submit a confidential Academy inclusion standard form to be considered eligible. A baby step to get the industry thinking more about inclusion. You mean a group that has so many gays and lesbians and all this other type of stuff, and they're not inclusive? Color me shocked. Now they're probably the most racist, sexist, and all their type of stuff of everybody you ever met. And then, of course, in 2024, must meet 2 of the 4 standards. Other standards involve filling the ranks behind the scenes with women or people of color, offering both paid apprenticeships and training opportunities to those in the underrepresented groups, hiring multiple senior executives from the groups of either studio or the film company charged with marketing and distributing the films. I mean, all this stuff. The standards will be enforced via checks of sets through dialogue between the Academy and a movie's filmmakers and distributors. 2 Academy governors headed up the task force to develop the standards. They took their instrument from the British Film Institute, which in 2019 became the first major awards body to introduce diversity and inclusion criteria as part of the eligibility requirements, and nobody cares. Except the virtue signaling left who, yay, we won, but they don't realize that they're destroying it. I've actually seen the hashtag #OscarsSoWhite, and it's just a bunch of people on Twitter pushing it. And if you read the comments below it, no, they weren't as, it wasn't as good as what they thought. But being in today's thing, they've got to push it. My big thing about diversity is kind of, if my house is on fire and the fire person comes on it, I couldn't give one shit if that person, what race, sex, if they're gay or not. I wouldn't care. I just want them to be able to pick my ass up and take me out of the house safely with, get us both out. That's all I care about. If they can't do that, then they shouldn't have the job. Kind of the same thing here. But, Oscars have been so, what are they now anyways? But that's enough of my ranting. Your 2 cents, and I'll see you next video.